Hello, fabulous Aries. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of December 2020, looking at life and love. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month. Right out of the gate, we are in a period between eclipses where it was that the ancients said the veil between the worlds was especially thin. And so it is that much easier to recognize spiritual lessons playing out in our lives when we are in that period between eclipses. So we had that eclipse late last month. I spoke about it in last month's video. It is all about this move towards the middle of the month. So much happens right after the other. And I do feel like it has been a hard 2020 for a lot of us out there, right? But it is going to be mid-month where the energy starts to change. In some cases very quickly, and in your case, it is perspective and people that shift things for you. On December 14th, we are going to have a powerful solar eclipse. Now, what makes it powerful is that it is happening mighty close in the sky to what is known as the galactic center. And this is a part of the sky that is considered the birth canal, if you will, of the cosmos, of the universe. And so it adds that much more power and purpose to this solar eclipse. Now, solar eclipses bring about the new and the next, sometimes very quickly. Now, I do want to prepare you because this solar eclipse is happening hand in hand with Mercury. So a lot of that has to do with ideas and conversations. For you, this is about understanding your place in the world in a larger sense. Now, whether that is philosophical, whether that is spiritual, whether that is literal, all of that may come into focus at this time. This is a new moon solar eclipse, so that's new opportunities. And again, they may take you a little bit by surprise, but I just want you to be mindful that Neptune is squaring. And what that means is there's also a sense of things perhaps lending themselves to this beginning because there has been some disappointment. And because of that disappointment and looking at it and accepting it, you then are able to see the greater opportunities, and you're able to cultivate a spirit of perspective that ends up changing so much for you and for the better. This solar eclipse is happening in fellow fire sign Sagittarius, meaning you're able to tap into the best that this energy has to offer that much more easily. Now, for some, this may play out more practically, having to do with long distance travel, immigration, citizenship, higher learning, legal matters, political matters are covered here. Again, there may be some sense of things not being as certain or maybe even disappointing. And I'm sorry to say that, but it does happen. But because of that, you ultimately find a way forward. You find renewed enthusiasm on the other side of it. Now, as I said, a philosophical perspective, a spiritual perspective, for some, this may be a whole new understanding of the world. So it could be a whole new tradition, a whole new spiritual or philosophical or religious paradigm that presents itself to you. But that sense of something having to close, or at least having to acknowledge what hasn't worked, ultimately can lend itself to those new ideas, new perspectives that change the way that you may see the world going forward from here. This is part of an ongoing journey that you're going to be in because we do have the South Node moving through this part of the sky into next year as well. But this is strong when I look at this particular solar eclipse, which means that a lot of these lessons are going to feel like they come about very quickly. New perspectives, new opportunities could come about very quickly for you as well. Now, it is just days later. It is going to be right around the 17th that Saturn moves into the sign of Aquarius, or back into the sign of Aquarius. We had a little taste of this way back in the spring. And it will be just 2 days later that Jupiter gets there and we get to the winter solstice, right around the 20th or 21st, depending on where you are on the planet, that we are going to have a celestial event that a lot of astrologers have been looking forward to, called the Great Conjunction. It's also been called the Star of Hope. I know I've been talking about it a lot on my channel as well. Now for you, this Great Conjunction is taking place in a part of the sky that has to do with friendships. It has to do with groups that you belong to, group endeavors. It has to do with reaching the masses in some way. and in some way being known by the masses can sometimes be covered here as well. And this is going to, on the one hand, change your perspective of what might have taken place way back at the end of March and beginning of April. And so if you felt like there were situations there that changed some of your friendships, some of your group alignments, if it felt like there was endings or disappointments that weren't necessarily comfortable, this is where you see that situation differently and ultimately feel a sense of a fresh and more optimistic beginning. Now, this is Jupiter changing signs as well. I already have Saturn specials up on my website. Jupiter specials are going to be coming in the first days of this month, so be on the lookout for that, whether you want to get them in the Superstar space or on my website. And of course, I'll be talking about this on my YouTube channel as well. We are going to end the month and end the year with a full moon. And this full moon is taking place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with profound and meaningful transformation. It also speaks to your ability to access resources. But I think more importantly, this is where you realize what you're carrying into your future, but more importantly, what you are not. Whether it is a part of you, whether it is some way in which you used to see the world, this is an area that has to do with renewal in the best possible sense so that you can live more authentically in this life going forward from here. And so having this particular full moon speaking in harmony with Uranus, while this does suggest that things can change, they can change very quickly, fresh insights, new understandings, and a sense that luck is very much on your side as it is that you are uncovering this more authentic self coming forward here. For others, this can be work-related opportunities, financial opportunities as well, especially where it comes to things like attracting work that is related to commission payments. But this can also be grants, loans, scholarships, bursaries. All of that is covered here. And so in some way, you are feeling as if very quickly you are moving towards greater wealth. That could be literal, that could be psychological or spiritual as well. Now, where it comes to matters of love, it is going to be Venus mid-month that is going to move into this same part of the sky that we have this solar eclipse taking place in. And this is fellow fire sign Sagittarius. You're able to tap into this Venusian energy that much more easily. Now you add this other layer, and that is that as we get to the end of this month, thereby the end of this year, the larger Mars retrograde season starts to wrap up as well. And for you, that is significant. This is your ruling planet. Having this shadow period wrap up, it does suggest that you are starting to feel more and more like you as we navigate further. And that includes as you interact with others. The fact that it is love that is opening up new perspectives to you that feels like an adventure, well, that adds to the happiness that you may be feeling at this time. For those of you open to meeting someone new, this is all about the international love calling you. And so wherever it is that you are hopeful for connecting with someone else, whether it is that they see the world very differently than you, or they're perhaps from a different ethnicity or background than you've known before, it is going to be Venus moving into here that gives you that little bit of an extra connection with these types of people. For those of you who have just started to date somebody, well, it is Venus moving into this part of the sky that encourages both of you to be more philosophical, to talk more, to consider what it is that you believe about the world, and in that way reach a deeper level of bonding. And for those of you in an established bond, I feel like this energy is all about taking on the adventure, a more adventurous spirit, looking ahead, thinking about what more there is to do together as you navigate further. This is about putting plans into place, figuring out what you need to do now so that you can manifest something else, something better in the fullness of time. And where it is that, yes, there may be a desire to plan something that both of you can look forward to, well, the enthusiasm and the bond grows forward from there. What I love about this month for you, well, look, I think the very big news now is the great conjunction that is taking place on the winter solstice. This really is the dawn of a new age in key ways and in your life as well. where it was that it might have felt that other people were disappointing or disheartening, especially earlier this year, that energy can turn around. And whether it is new people or new perspectives coming in, it is going to be a sense now that there are many people who want to connect with you and see something within you to celebrate, to shine, and to share. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this every week by logging on to nadiyashah.com. Sign up to be one of my superstars. Superstars get expanded, exclusive videoscopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes and more. All of this in the superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.